Hello, friends. Welcome to Take Two for this Wednesday, the 31st of August. Can you believe we've gotten to the end of the month, 2022? This is Jeannie. I'm so glad that you've decided to come along for the ride today. Well, many years ago, when Michael and I were first going through our missionary training school, we were out at the campus, and one early morning, I had to go down to the administration building for one reason or another. The sun was just coming up, and I noticed one of the volunteers who worked there at the ministry, and he had found himself a comfortable little spot out on the lawn, and he was just kind of like leaning back like this, had his, and he was kind of watching the clouds and watching the sun coming up over the mountain. This was in Southern California, up over the San Gabriel Mountains. And I noticed he was just sitting there and he was just enjoying himself, having a big old time, just watching the clouds and watching the sun. So I went up to him and I started talking to him, and I said, I'll call him Lenny. And I said, Lenny, what's going on? I mean, you look like you're just having a nice, restful time. He says, yeah, it's really, really nice. He says, I just love coming out here and the freedom of being able to come out here and just enjoy the sunshine and enjoy the clouds and all this sort of thing. So he began telling me his story. Started unfolding as he was sharing this. He said, if you've heard my testimony of my life and how God got a hold of me after I was a bit of a troubled young man, he said, and I got in trouble with a gang of guys, and we stole a car, and we got in trouble, and we got arrested, and he said, and I ended up being found guilty as part of the theft ring, and he said, and I ended up doing my time. He said, so I went to prison for 4.5 years, he said, and it was a really rough 4.5 years. He says, but in that time that I was there, he said, I came back to my roots, and I remembered those Sunday school lessons as a child. He said, and I made a true commitment to the Lord, and the rest is history. He says, and now I just thought I would give back by volunteering with this ministry and helping any way I can. I said, well, that's a really neat story. That's very encouraging. Well, anyway, I said, but why laying out and looking at the clouds and the sun? What's that all about? He said, well, it's so funny. But when I was doing that and I was living in the prison and doing that, he says, we weren't allowed to just go outside anytime we felt like it. And we certainly weren't allowed to just roam free. He said, I was in a very controlled situation in a very strict prison. He said, and so I didn't realize that I missed these things until I didn't have them. He said, and now that I have the privilege of being able to go lay out on a lawn and look up at the sky any time of the day that I feel like it, he said, I do. Sometimes I come out at night and just stare at the stars. He said, it's funny, but there's things when they're taken away from you and you don't have them anymore, you don't realize you miss them until they're gone. He said, so I've decided from this point forward, I am not going to let anything like that happen to me again. I'm going to grab what I can and appreciate everything that I can so that I don't have regrets to say, gee, I wish I'd found more time to go look at the stars and watch the clouds and those kinds of things. Now, please let me bring balance here. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with hard work and being responsible and all that. I'm not saying we should just spend our days out looking at the stars or looking at the clouds. Of course not. But there are things in our lives that we just completely forget about, and we don't even realize that we can possibly miss them because they're just in front of us all the time, like the stars and the clouds and that kind of thing. Or maybe your child's laughter, or maybe the opportunity to have conversations with the people you love. You may put things off, maybe that trip you've always wanted to take. You don't realize when those opportunities come and go, they're not going to come back again. And then when they're gone and you say, gosh, I had an opportunity. I didn't realize I would miss this, and now it's gone. So I encourage you, boys and girls, just like Lenny, enjoying those clouds while he was still a young man and really could appreciate them. Don't find yourself in a place where you're saying, gosh, I didn't realize how much I would miss this until it was gone. Don't get to the point of it being gone, okay? In your own life, appreciate and grab and hold on to what you possibly can now. And let me tell you, a lot of it is free. So don't lose out. Now listen, go out and be a blessing to somebody today, because you may end up being the only one who is. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. JeanneSigler. Click that subscribe button. Thank you. Oh, that almost went. Click the subscribe button, that notification bell, ding. I will let you know every time another Take Two is premiering. And listen, don't forget, great music, great programming, ultimateoldiesradio.com. Every Saturday at 9 Eastern, 8 Central, AM and PM, you can listen to my program through the eyes of a New York woman. And then you can listen to it again, if you like, on Sunday at oldies700.com, oldies700.com. And that is on Sundays at 4 Central, 5 Eastern, AM and PM. So please tune in. And immediately following my show on the Oldies channel is, on Oldies 700, is On the Road with Chef Michael. Will you be blessed? And don't miss those opportunities, because sometimes they may never pass this way again. I'll see you next time, and enjoy your last day of August, because tomorrow it's September. I love you. Bye-bye.